Governor Pat McCrory's budget was released this morning, and it includes a $170 million cut to the UNC system. Out-of-state students will be hit hard.
It was very terrifying to see all this blood dripping down my hair and face and my shoes.
No, she didn't fall off her bike. We'll tell you her story.
And the Tar Heels are dancing, but in the 8th seed. We'll have reactions from students.
Carolina Week starts now.
From the UNC School of Journalism and Mass Communication, covering Carolina in HD, this is Carolina Week.
$139 million. That's how much money is being cut from the UNC system budget next school year. Good evening, I'm Alex Giles.
And I'm Landon Dowdy. But there's more. Tuition is also going to go up by more than 12% for out-of-state students. Reporter Jessica Marker is on campus right now with the latest. Hey, Jessica, can you tell us a little bit more about what's going on?
It's just a proposal right now, Landon, but come next year, the university could see some big cuts. The system's looking at the $139 million cut that you mentioned earlier. Just how much of that would come from Chapel Hill is not clear tonight. But the governor did make clear what he wants from out-of-state students. Tuition would go up more than $32 million. I'm sorry, more than $3,200 a year. And it didn't take long for students on campus to react.
The fact that he's asking for no money from in-state students, to me, says that he knows that his proposal is flawed and unpopular, so he's sticking it to the out-of-state students.
The fact that our prices increase when in-state doesn't, and you already consider the gap in what we pay, I find it pretty ridiculous.
Increased tuition would make it that much more difficult for me to stay at Carolina, which is unfair because I've worked just as hard as the in-state students to get here.
It's already hard to afford this school out of state, so I'd be super upset about that.
Again, Landon, this is just a proposal, but Governor McCrory says he's talked to Republican leaders on both sides of the House and that he's confident that the budget will pass. And we've got a reaction from the chancellor tonight. He says, quote, "We look forward to working with President Ross, the General Assembly, and Governor McCrory in the next steps of the budget process." Back to you in the studio, Landon.
Jessica Marker reporting live from UNC campus. Thanks so much, Jessica.
It's probably happened to you. You're walking across campus minding your own business when a bicycle zips by, barely missing you. I met with one UNC sophomore who wasn't so lucky. She found herself in the hospital with 2 broken bones, requiring 2 surgeries.
Katie Anderson is a sophomore biology major at UNC. She expects tough coursework. What she didn't expect was the bicyclist that struck her from behind.
It was very terrifying to see all this blood dripping down my hair and face and my shoes. I had a lot of blood in my shoes and everything, so I just didn't. It was scary. I was very worried about it.
The accident left Anderson hospitalized with a broken nose and a broken arm. She required 2 surgeries. It happened in front of Dye Hall, begging the question, are campus cyclists a hazard?
Walking bikes on campus is safe. DPS spokesperson Randy Young says the problem is that most students riding bikes through campus are in a hurry.
Despite the risk, Young says the Department of Public Safety doesn't get a lot of complaints about bike traffic.
If we receive a complaint, it's a priority for us. We act on any complaint. I don't think for the campus it's something that we see a lot of complaints from. I don't think folks rush over here to complain.
UNC student and bicyclist Quinn Carmine says sometimes pedestrians are the ones at fault.
I've gotten very close but never hit anybody. What's annoying though is when people start walking in front of you. I have this entirely open bike lane and people just start inching over, and then that's when it gets real close because I just got to squeeze right by them.
Anderson disagrees. She says there's no need for a bike once you're on campus.
There's a reason why there's bike racks sitting right next to me in Dye Hall, because I understand biking to campus, but I don't think it's necessary to have to use your bike in the quad when there's so many pedestrians walking around.
Anderson may be right, but right now there's nothing stopping bikers from whizzing by her on campus.
The Department of Public Safety asks that cyclists slow down and be cautious of pedestrians. A citation for reckless bike travel on campus is a $30 fine. By the way, bikes are prohibited from the sidewalks in downtown Chapel Hill. The men's basketball team is where it belongs, in the NCAA tournament. But a lot of folks are grumbling tonight about where the Heels are seated. Sports director Will Reimer joins us. An A seed, Will? Come on.
Alex, don't look at me. I didn't get to make the decision. The Heels start the tournament against Villanova at 7:20 tonight, but they won't be playing where most fans thought they would.
UNC's an 8 seed, and students aren't happy.
When I found out, I was a little disappointed.
When I found out we were an 8 seed, I was really shocked, and I've seen Roy come out with statements too.
I was stunned when I saw the North Carolina and the number 8. I was stunned, and so then it took me a couple seconds. Hey, that's us. It's not somebody else. That's us.
They are not alone. WRAL sports anchor Ken Medlin says he was also startled when he saw Carolina's seed.
Yeah, they played a great game. I was surprised, and I think most people that I've talked to were surprised.
They're surprised because many projected the Heels as a 7 seed, maybe even a 6 seed, before the conference tournament.
They go into the tournament, make the championship game, and it looks like they gain nothing from it.
Tar Heels aren't the only fans in the ACC who may have a right to complain. Miami's the first team ever to win the regular season and tournament titles in the same year and not get a 1 seed. Virginia and Maryland didn't even make the tournament. The ACC got fewer teams in the tournament than both the Atlantic 10 and the Mountain West. That surprised Medlin the most.
I'm not certain that if you were to put those teams in a pool and have them play, I'm not certain those conferences would have winning records against the ACC.
Medlin says coaching might be the reason why the ACC's reputation has dwindled.
You don't have the star power in coaching in the ACC that you used to have. There was a time when every school in the ACC had a coach that was thought to be one of the nation's best.
Not a problem for the Tar Heels. Coach Williams is a Hall of Famer. Some fans say it's time to trust him and move on.
We're playing really well. I think we can play with anyone, so I'm not too worried about the seeding.
And you know what, Alex? A win Friday against Villanova would be the 700th victory for Coach Williams in his career.
A big milestone and a well-deserved one at that. Thank you, Will.
The university will try to clean up the academic mess surrounding UNC athletics. A new director for the academic support program was named this week, and some changes are already underway. Michelle Brown is filling the position, and she comes from Florida Atlantic University. The updated program will have fewer tutors who are undergraduates. That's because the university wants to hire more graduate students, public school teachers, and full-time professionals.
Earlier today, we told you about the governor's proposal to increase out-of-state tuition. The news could get worse for many other students here at Chapel Hill across the country. The bill for student loans could be going up. John Daniels reports it all depends on Congress.
Kayla Deans is an out-of-state student, and she pays for most of her college education with loans.
Freshman year, I received more, grants or scholarships that I didn't have to pay back. But each year, that decreased.
But students with loans may have to pay more after graduation. If Congress doesn't act before July 1st, the interest rate on subsidized loans will double from around 3.5% to almost 7%. The Office of Scholarships and Student Aids, Tabitha Turner, puts the issue into perspective.
With mortgage interest rates being as low as they are, in the 3 to 4 to 5% range, certainly 6.8 on a student loan is not a good interest rate.
Though she's optimistic that Congress will find a solution, she says more needs to be done.
What we really need is a long-term fix that ideally includes a low fixed interest rate.
Turner has a suggestion for students who will be affected by a rate hike.
We encourage them to contact their congressional representative and explain their concern.
Dean says she'll deal with whatever happens.
So I really do hope that the interest rates don't increase. But at the same time, if it does, that's just something I have to be prepared for and have to deal with either way.
The rate increase will affect loans granted next school year. In Chapel Hill, I'm John Daniels.
In 2011, more than 2/3 of college students graduated with more than $26,000 of debt. Are you getting tired of Facebook? If you are, you might not be alone.
It's a new phenomenon called Facebook fatigue. We'll have more next.
Connect with us online by liking the Carolina Week Facebook page and following us on Twitter at Carolina Week UNC.
Get caught buzz driving.
and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom. It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
Maybe you've had it, norovirus, lots of vomiting and diarrhea. There's been a recent outbreak on campus. Reporter Avery Harper tells us how to prevent getting infected and what to do if you get it.
UNC junior Caitlin Walsh didn't know what she had, but she knew she was too sick to go to class.
I started feeling not so great Wednesday after dinner.
After Walsh ate at one of the campus dining halls, she said she started feeling nauseous, dizzy, and had severe stomach pain. When she heard she had symptoms of norovirus, she said she was sure she had it, but she'd never heard of it before.
I had to Google it.
Symptoms of norovirus include diarrhea and vomiting. It's highly contagious and spread through contact with those fluids, even from contaminated foods or surfaces. According to the CDC, there are 21 million cases of norovirus a year. Stacy Schulp from the Orange County Health Department says cases in densely populated areas like universities are common.
Really, it's not anything to worry about. I mean, it's not pleasant for the people going through it, I will say that.
That's true unless you're a part of a high-risk group. The very young, the elderly, and those with weakened immune systems, like people with HIV or chemotherapy patients. In the U.S., norovirus leads to about 70,000 hospitalizations and 800 deaths every year.
There are no vaccines. There is no antibiotic that will treat it. You really just have to go through it, unfortunately.
If you've contracted the virus, you shouldn't go to work or school because you could give it to somebody else. You should drink plenty of fluids and clean with bleach-based cleaning products.
And what's really tricky is somebody can be contagious up to 3 days after the symptoms have subsided.
If you don't have the virus and you don't want to get it, you should wash your hands thoroughly and often. The Orange County Health Department says it hasn't pinpointed the source of the outbreak, but says the virus is on the decline. Walsh says after a couple of days, she's fully recovered. In Chapel Hill, I'm Avery Harper.
The Orange County Health Department says it has worked with campus dining services to change cleaning procedures. There have been nearly 100 reported cases of norovirus by Campus Health.
This past flu season was the worst nationally since the H1N1 virus in 2006. But a 71% increase in the number of flu shots on the UNC campus may have helped us. Still, there were students who got the flu who even got the shot. Reporter Kiara Palmer tells us why.
Sophomore nursing student Austin Hallman wasn't expecting to get hit with the flu a month ago, especially after getting a flu shot.
Yeah, I have a flu shot every year. I got one this year just like I always do at the beginning of the flu season, and for some reason it didn't work this year.
And with the flu came harsh symptoms.
At first it really just felt like a cold, and then when the fever hit, that made it worse, and then the body aches are like something I've never experienced really before.
Campus Health infectious disease doctor Thebi Chai said that could be due to an additional strand that the flu vaccine didn't cover this year. But good news, next year it will.
So traditionally, the trivalent vaccine, which has been the one given to individuals in the past, had 2 type A strains and 1 type B strain. In the quadrivalent vaccine, this will have 2 type A strains and 2 type B strains.
With only 380 flu-related cases, Dr. Chai believes the flu season went well this year. Students and faculty were encouraged to get vaccinated early in October. UNC Campus Health administered 2,250 flu shots compared to the 1,600 from last year. When the flu season arrived early, the campus was hardly affected.
When students came back in early and mid-January, then when students started mingling together, then we had an increase again of influenza-like illnesses. And so our peak was really around late January.
Though flu season is ending, Dr. Chai says there's still a chance you can catch it before it ends.
The interesting thing about the flu virus is that it is unpredictable.
Dr. Chai advises students to practice safe hand washing, healthy lifestyles, and to get an annual flu shot. Reporting in Chapel Hill, I'm Kiara Palmer.
The UNC School of Medicine is #1 for primary care. That's according to the U.S. News and World Report's graduate school rankings. It's the first time the school has ranked first in any graduate school category, Alex.
Wow. Besides first place in primary care, the medical school ranked 22nd in overall research. The school earned top 10 rankings in other categories as well. Take a look. The school is #2 in family medicine, #5 in rural medicine, and in AIDS research, #9. The School of Medicine also ranks 9th in federal research funding.
Okay, be honest. Didn't you start to worry about being on Facebook when your mother sent a friend request? A little creepy. That may help explain our next story. Sefe Amakpai reports.
Facebook. In the last couple years, it seems like everyone has one. We all connect every day, right? Not this guy. Well, at least not lately.
At this point in time, I'm pretty much over Facebook.
Eric Hall is not the only one with those feelings. The phenomenon even has a name, Facebook fatigue. It predicts the significant decrease in Facebook usage in 2013.
So if Facebook is on the decrease in 2013, does that mean a decline in all of social media or just this particular outlet?
Well, social media has become a major communications method.
But UNC journalism adjunct professor Gary Kay, who teaches a whole course on the importance of social media in today's society, says this.
It's become a way of communicating. In fact, most universities, or some universities now, but most universities in the next couple of years won't even issue email addresses because they're communicating with their students at more real time on social media sites like Facebook and Google+.
The Pew Research Center's Internet Life Project reported that 27% of Facebook users in the U.S. plan to cut back in 2013. The number is even higher among young people. 38% of users 18 to 29 plan to spend less time on the site. So when was the last time Hall updated his Facebook status?
I think I updated it for a party I was throwing over winter break, so it's been about 2 months now, at least.
The future of Facebook status is still to be seen. In Chapel Hill, I'm Sefe Amakpai.
Another Franklin Street eatery joins the list of places closing their doors. Kildare's Irish Pub, located at 206 West Franklin Street, closed last week, just 3 days before St. Patrick's Day. Something about a dispute over rent. Kildare's was only open for 3 years. 4 other Franklin Street restaurants have closed since last summer. Let's take a look. Gumby's Pizza closed in June, then Jack Sprat followed in October. In November, owners of Tomato Jake's Pizza sold the building, and earlier this month, Pepper's Pizza closed its doors.
Well, Alex, winter is officially over, and today marks the first day of spring. In case you noticed, I'm wearing Easter egg purple.
I got you. Bring on the warm, right?
That's right.
Meteorologist Drew Day will tell us if we should expect spring weather next.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat. Hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 home runs.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Hey, you going out like that?
Yeah, why?
Well, what would the neighbors think?
I see you! Come look at Mr. Feather. Look what I have. Mr. Bird, remember? Bark, bark, bark. We're just playing. We're just playing on trying to get you out of here.
Even still.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
All right, welcome back to Carolina Week, everyone. I'm Drew Day. Thank you so much for staying with us. As we take a look at the current temperature outside right now at the Horace Williams Airport, you can see the current temperature is 53 degrees with the dew point at 13, and the wind is variable at 4 miles per hour. And as we mentioned before the break, today is the first day of spring, but we will not be seeing temperatures like this anytime soon. In fact, tomorrow we could be 10 degrees colder than we were today, with highs only in the 40s. But as we first start off and take a look at the satellite across the state today, you can see we have plenty of cloud cover over North Carolina, and some of that cloud cover started to erode away late in the afternoon, so we have plenty of sunshine in the afternoon here in Chapel Hill. But that cloud cover again is what helped to contribute to keeping our temperatures so cool out there today. As we back out now and take a wider view of the nation, you can see this little area of cloud cover right in here. See that? That is a cold front that will be pushing through our state overnight tonight, and that could produce a few showers across the area. As we go ahead and take a look at the surface map here, this is going to be for the next 24 hours. You can see the showers are located right in here behind the front by 8 p.m. this evening, and so the front will be pushing through our area perhaps around 11 p.m. and so we could see those showers from anywhere from 11 p.m. to about 2 a.m. So the good news is those showers will be moving through when most of us are in bed asleep, and so they won't be really of a large impact to us. And then by the time we get to tomorrow morning, as you're heading off to work or school, those showers will be out of here as that front will be well offshore. So we expect mostly sunny skies across the area, and that trend continues right on into tomorrow evening. But behind that front, we're going to see a wind shift. We're going to start to see some northerly winds come into North Carolina, which means we're going to start to see some cold air come down from Canada here into North Carolina. So again, it's going to be very chilly across the area tomorrow as you head out the door. So be sure that you are prepared for that. So overnight tonight, expect to see partly cloudy skies, a low temperature right around 31 degrees with light winds across the area. And then for tomorrow afternoon, we expect our high to be right at 42 degrees with partly cloudy skies. That wind will be 10 to 15 miles per hour. So we could have a wind chill actually feeling like the 30s outside. So make sure you have a jacket with you and you bundle up as you are head out and about tomorrow. And as we break tomorrow down just a little bit further into a few key time points, so you know what to expect throughout the day. By 8 a.m., temperatures will be in the low 30s across the area, warming on up into the upper 30s by the afternoon. And again, we'll reach that high of 42 in the afternoon period around 2 p.m. And then by the time we head into 8 p.m., if you're out and about, expect to see temperatures right around 34 degrees. And then as we take a look at the 5-day forecast, expect to see temperatures again at 42 tomorrow, and then we'll be warming up into the 50s for Friday and Saturday. A little bit of chance of rain on Saturday evening, and now continue well into Sunday. But then the longer term view looks like well into next week we will not be seeing above normal temperatures, which our normal temperature is 65. So definitely some cold weather here these next few days.
Drew, what happened? I thought it was supposed to be springtime.
Well, no one told Mother Nature that it's supposed to be spring.
Apparently not.
No, not at all.
Thank you, Drew.
All right, you're welcome.
Drew. It's bracket time again, and as always, it's likely there will be busted brackets. 64 teams will be dancing tomorrow and Friday.
Upsets are bound to happen. We'll have more in sports.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Or you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
$7,000 high school students drop out every school day. Let's catch them before it's too late. To start helping students in your community, visit boostup.org.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm Natalia Perez. PJ Harrison's got a pure jumper, and Coach Williams says his jump shot is finally starting to improve.
This year, starting out, he didn't shoot it nearly as well. But I've seen the guy shoot and really shoot the ball really well for 5 years now. And so he just had to be able to transfer that and do it in the game situation. And I think he's just scratching the surface now. I think that he's just going to get better and better. Next year, he'll put the ball on the floor more. I just think he's going to get better and better.
Nobody's perfect, but one UNC student filling out an NCAA tournament bracket hopes his strategy works to perfection. What are his chances? Julian Caldwell has the answer.
UNC men's basketball is in the big dance, but the pressure is on UNC junior James Mwambela to fill out a winning NCAA tournament bracket.
In the past years, I've tried to do analysis. I've tried to pick based on, what teams I liked, and it didn't work out.
So now, he's playing the percentages.
You don't pick a 12-5 upset. You don't want to win. You don't want to win your bracket. It's, that's one thing you can count on, just like Christmas coming every year.
4 times 10 to the 17th power.
Statistics professor Doug Kelly says it's only easy to calculate how hard it is to be perfect.
The easiest calculation is 1/2 to the 67 power, and that's based on the simplest and stupidest possible assumption, namely that you toss a coin.
And guess how Mwambela decided UNC's fate in the first round of his bracket?
I'm going to have to flip a coin. Sorry, boys. I'll say heads for UNC. Heads. UNC advances first round.
He has a 50-50 chance of being right, but the odds against being perfect are daunting.
Kelly told me that the likelihood of this being a perfect bracket is 1 in 140 quintillion. That means if the Dean Dome was full and everyone filled out 600 trillion brackets, there would only be a 10% chance that one of them was perfect. Mwambela strives to beat those odds one time in his life, with his current focus also on a bracket pool he hasn't won in 8 years.
All the years of losing to the women at my mom's work who don't know anything about basketball, it'll be great to finally, I guess, just stick it to them in a way. Be like, yeah, now I know what I'm doing,
And 2 words he could use: good luck. In Chapel Hill, I'm Julian Caldwell.
And don't forget about Coach Sylvia Hatchell and the women's basketball team. It's dancing too. The Heels are a 3 seed in the Bridgeport bracket. They'll play 14-seeded Albany Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Carolina represents the ACC, along with Duke, Maryland, Florida State, and Miami. And while the women do play Sunday, Alex, the men take on Villanova on Friday, and it's going to be a big game. Villanova and UNC have seen each other 5 times in the NCAA tournament, and the winner of that game has made it all the way to the Final Four. And get this, 4 out of the 5 times, whoever's won that has taken home the national championship.
Natalia, that is an incredible statistic, and I hope it bodes well for this year.
I absolutely hope the same. I hope that we're bringing home that national championship.
I hope so too.
I agree. Thank you, Natalia.
Thanks, Natalia.
And the countdown starts.
That's right, seniors. There are 53 days until we put on those Carolina blue caps and gowns.
If you have a story idea, call Carolina Week at 919-843-8292 or email us at carolinaweek@unc.edu. And if you have questions about this program, write to us at Carolina Week, Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina 27599. Be sure to check out Carolina Week online at carolinaweek.org.
Kids will spend 57 minutes making me go splat.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
"53, that's how many days until graduation. We'll be putting on those Carolina blue caps and gowns. Students purchase caps, gowns, stoles, and tassels earlier. You could even buy your class ring. The soon-to-be graduates could also join the General Alumni Association and donate money to the senior campaign. And of course, a chance to take those capped and gown pictures. Well, that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Good night.